I asked earlier if you remember going to a scripture class in school. There was a time when Christian education in schools was expected and was the norm. Things have changed over time, and more recently there's been an ongoing debate about the relevance of teaching scripture or special education, special religious education in state schools. Is it needed? Should students be subject to religious teaching? Should it be swapped for ethical law or civics class? One person who can tell us a little bit more about the need of this, the overall head of Christian Special Religious Education, Murray Norman. It's good to talk to you, Murray.
Lovely to be here.
Tell me, what does Christian SRE do?
So basically what happens in New South Wales, there's an opportunity to go in to teach young people for half an hour to an hour a week in schools where parents have the opportunity to have their children taught about the religion of their choice, and I represent all the churches for Christian scripture.
And that happens in each state across the country?
It happens in different forms, so it happens in different ways. In New South Wales, we have special religious education. That's the that has the most rigorous and organised special religious education. In other states, it happens in different ways, in seminars and other things.
But in every place, there is an opportunity of something of this kind to happen.
In different states, there's different jurisdictions. So in Victoria, it happens out of class time.
Yeah.
In New South Wales, it happens in class time. In Queensland, the same thing.
Why is it important to continue teaching Christian education in schools?
The thing that's really important, we have heaps of parents coming and saying, how do our children get values? Where do their values come from? And one of the things that we've found is that the vast majority of parents want their children to grow up having values. And when we look at values, where do they come from? We find that one of the places that we get values from is faith. So faith actually determines where our values come from. So we've got parents in New South Wales, we've got about 70% of parents are choosing for their children to come along to classes and learn about faith.
Should it be compulsory?
I think in New South Wales, the great thing is it's a parent's choice. So parents get to choose. So if they want their child to come and learn about religious education from a Christian perspective, they can choose that. Different faiths, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, can choose theirs.
You gave us a percentage when we were in conversation earlier of people that sign in for this. It was over 70%, wasn't it?
Yeah. So about 70% of families are choosing in primary school to send their children along to classes, and about 90% of those are Christian.
So what if a child's from a non-Christian family?
So in New South Wales, we have the other option of ethics. They can be taught in classes where volunteers come along and they teach them about ethics, and that's called primary ethics. And then parents can choose to have none of those taught, and there's other arrangements made for those students.
So when we talk about Christian, is this essentially the biblical truths of what faith's about? Are those the things that you emphasise?
So basically in these classes we're teaching the basic truths about Christianity. So we basically refer it as question, explore, discover. So we're letting young people ask big questions about the Bible, like where did I come from? Who is Jesus? Can the Bible be trusted? They get the opportunity to look in the Bible and ask from people who believe that, so they can discover, explore themselves, and then they have the opportunity to discover, what am I going to do with what I'm learning? What do I want to base my life on, the values, so that they have an opportunity to take what they've learned and put that into action.
And of course, we may not know the benefit of this for a long time in the future.
That's exactly right. What we're doing is we're grounding young people in the opportunity to be able to ask big questions of life, so that as they grow up and they start making life decisions, they've got a place where they can understand faith and the values that come with that, and then make their own decisions for a lifetime.
How many people are involved in the actual delivery of this teaching?
So there's 10,500 volunteers go in every week teaching special religious education from a Christian perspective. There's also 1,000 other religious teachers from other religions going in. So it's the second largest volunteer force in New South Wales going in and teaching in our schools. So it's quite large.
Just in a sentence or two then, why are you passionate about it?
The thing I'm so passionate about is helping young people to be able to have an opportunity to be able to make life decisions and learn about Jesus. I grew up in the country. One of the things that shaped my life is there was a elderly farmer that used to come in every week, and he used to answer all our questions, and he'd take us back to the Bible. We were quite interested in, I remember as a young guy wanting to learn about girls, and he'd take us to the Bible and we'd learn, what are we going to do for our lives? How do we work out right and wrong? He'd take us back to the Bible, that's formed my whole life through learning those things from him and seeing those values. That's what I want to be able to help other young people, to give them that opportunity.
Before we finish up, if someone's been listening to our conversation and saying, I'd like to teach Christian education, what would you say to them and how could they go about it?
We'd be really, really keen to have more teachers. It's amazing that teachers can go in and share their lives with young people. And what I'd encourage them to do is go and visit our Facebook page at Christian SRE, where they can find out information that's happening, or our website, which is faithlifevalues.com.au. If they go there, they'll be able to find out all the information about being involved and being able to invest into young people's lives and give them the hope of future that we find in Jesus.
And is there a typical person that could do this?
What we're looking for is people that want to share what Jesus has done in their life and their faith with young people. They want to share that, they want to love young people, and they want to give them hope for the future. So you can be any age, you might be retired, you might be at university, you might be a mum at home with young kids, able to find some time during the week. So basically, if you can get half an hour to an hour to be able to go to your local school and able to prepare through the week, that's who we want. All ages, all different types of people we want in there teaching young people.
And you'll fix all the entries and introductions that's necessary in the training.
So we'll definitely help them with training and all the resources they need so that we can help young people in schools.